time no see. Here we are again. What an incredible day. What an incredible day for Coffee and Ketchup. A lot happening today. We got a lot of exciting things to talk about. A lot of big things going on down here in this multi-million-dollar studio. But that multi-million-dollar studio did not come cheap. Because of that, we're going to go ahead and start off today's video with a word from our sponsors. Professional Derek, please take it away.
I'll do my best.
Thank you.
Chris. We want to thank Buckeye Preferred Services for helping us get started up. And if you wonder what Buckeye Preferred Services is, guess what?
Will you tell us?
I'm going to tell you.
I appreciate
I'm glad
that.
you asked.
Thank you.
24-hour emergency service, that's what they offer.
How many hours?
24.
24.
All day, every day.
That's all day and night.
That's right. They do complete tree care and removal, stump grinding, lot clearing, brush cutting. They give free estimates. Won't cost you a dime for them to come out and look at what you got and see if they can help you out. And they are fully insured. You can find them on Facebook, Buckeye Preferred Services. And you can watch a video of them way up in a tree looking down. He does that often.
Chainsaws will travel.
That's what they say.
Chainsaws will travel. Hey, I don't know. You're going to catch me dead of one of them trees cutting down what I'm supported to.
It ain't happening.
I don't know about all that. Oh, man. So, anyways, like I was saying at the beginning, what an incredible day. We're actually sitting here recording this on July 12th. Somebody's going out of town and vacationing or whatever. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
So, we're having to do these kind of back-to-back. But we've been keeping track. Our first ever episode went live today at 12 o'clock. And it's done, I think, a lot better than any one of us would have thought at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We double-checked it right before we got on, and it was at, I think, 156 views and 30 likes and probably a dozen comments on there. People are really responding well to it, and we're very, very grateful for that. Everybody's kind of signing up and giving us a look and showing their support, and it's definitely took off a little bit quicker than what we had thought. In fact,
Now, Chris, there's been a little bit of a downside to that positive reaction.
there has been a little bit. I'm not going to say that I've been completely brand new all day, but I've definitely been walking around with my nose a little bit stuck up in the air.
My phone died today. I had to charge it when I got home from work.
Oh, I'm sure we probably had a billion calls coming in wanting to
Well,
talk to
I'm
you.
getting lots of texts and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, we're famous now.
Not surprised.
Appreciate you showing me how to do that, Chris, the other day.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just charger slot goes in the bottom. We'll get you there. You're
Appreciate
all
it,
right.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna say I'm completely brand new. My mom called me earlier, and I was just like, I don't have time to talk to her. I got stuff to do. But it is, and I'll let Brian kind of tell you how our first experience went with it at lunch today.
So, yeah, the podcast dropped at noon today.
Mm-hmm.
Chris and I were just taking our lunch, and we obviously pulled up the podcast and looked at it for a little bit. And I think at about 10 minutes after 12, we had roughly 3 views.
I was one of them.
Yeah, I
2
think I was one
comments.
of them, too.
Well, then I was the third, so. But I was feeling myself. 2 comments from the same person. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you for the comments.
Thank you for the support. So it's time to go eat lunch, and so we get in the car and head up the road. Well, now that we're famous, where you want to go, there's probably going to be a mob waiting for us wherever we are.
They're tracking us.
This thing's taking off with jet fuel behind it. So we pull up to Captain D's, and took us a little while to get the order through. There was a little bit of confusion, and so we held it together. What was it at the speaker box?
You were just like, I got 2 separate orders.
That's
And the lady was just like, okay, are these all going to be on one ticket or two separate tickets?
well,
And she
we'll go out.
literally-
We'll go out and
she
just
literally
say
said the
2.
word separate.
Oh, Lord.
So once we got that straight, now we got the order put in. We drove up to the window, and I kind of felt like she was looking at me some kind of way, like she recognized us.
Yeah, I get it.
And I started getting a little bit nervous. I was watching her hands to make sure she wasn't going for the phone to get her friends up there in time before we're out of there. And so I did something which I like to do. I pulled my phone out and started recording. And I was telling her that we appreciated her not treating us like celebrities. And she said, well, why would I do that?
Yeah.
I said, well, we're famous and all.
She didn't recognize y'all.
She was not moved.
I don't think she was one of the 3 views we had at that
It was
point.
pretty obvious, wasn't it?
Derek, if you had called during that time, we would have been the 3 views on the phone together. And so she said something along the lines of, well, I don't want to run y'all off. And well, we appreciate that. And she's taking my card and making the payment. And real seriously, I said, so what do y'all think about the podcast? She didn't respond. So I said, we appreciate the support. Y'all enjoyed it?
She was telling the kitchen to hurry up, get your food ready.
Look, we stood there. We sat there for a few seconds. They pulled the food over or whatever. We're just sitting there, and I'm just like, all right, bro, let's pull off. And he's just like, all right. Y'all enjoy the podcast?
I said, you forgot something. She said, I said, is that all? She said, yeah. I said, you forgot something. She said, what? I said, smile.
Then Mike shot the finger gun.
Did you video it? Did you?
I shot her with the smile.
Shooter McGavin.
With the smile pistol.
The smile pistol.
At the drive-thru.
Did you video this?
And she smiled. Not only did I video it, DT,
Oh, my goodness.
I have put it on our TikTok page.
Okay, good.
I'll show you what TikTok is after this, Derek.
Okay.
Yeah, it was something else, that we did, of course, on our lunch break.
It was a good time.
Without jerking off at work, for sure. So like Derek and Brian were saying, that video is live on our TikTok now.
Go check it out.
I think I mentioned something about having to get to the Oprah Winfrey show.
Yes, you did. You said, I gotta watch my figure. We're probably gonna be on Oprah later.
So anyway, that's a pretty good video. I think it's already started to get a bunch of views and a bunch of likes too. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go over there and check it out. And everybody, be on the lookout. Well, don't be on the lookout, because by the time this airs, we will have already released our next TikTok video. I'm sure is going to go viral. It's going to blow up. It's very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Derek, this was kind of his story, and let him tell us about the great raccoon release of 2023.
So, forgive me, but I was sitting here going, what's he talking about? We already made another TikTok. So anyway, Brian and I live together. We live in the city. Just to give you a backstory here.
The city.
There are a strip of woods that are behind our property.
In the city?
In the city. It actually does happen occasionally. And my next door neighbor reached out to me, and she said, I think we have some raccoons. All my suet and my bird feeders are gone. And I said, well, I hadn't seen one yet. So anyway, I'm outside. Well, she verifies it a day or two later. There's 2 that are on her back deck area. And then I realized that my suet was also empty, because we both like to feed birds. That's what happens when you get old, Chris. Your time will come.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me.
Bird feeding. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's actually, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. So anyway, it's disappearing quickly. And then Brian and I were sitting on a Friday evening, and we heard something on the deck. And I said, what was that? Maybe it was a squirrel, but it was dark. So Brian goes outside. Brian, I want you to tell that part of the story and you got to tell it truthfully, because if you don't, I'm going to correct you. When you open the door and you step out, go ahead. You know what? You remember?
I don't know if I remember.
Okay, I'll have to tell it then.
Oh
Tell-
my
you
God,
tell-
these guys
I remember it happening. I remember happening, but I don't remember what happened.
Okay, so Brian opens the door. He takes one step out and takes the second step out, and he comes back like a bolt of lightning back in the door.
I do remember that. I was not scared. I didn't come back in fast because I was scared. I had just seen a T-shirt of the Flash, and I was mimicking the Flash.
And Brian steps back
scared.
in the door and slams the door, and Brian goes, "It's a raccoon, man." Shut the door. And that's the way he said it too. It's a raccoon, man.
It's a raccoon, man.
He shuts the door, deadbolts it, and I'm like going, huh. I said, well, we know we have raccoons. We got to do something about this. So Brian goes out and gets he and I something. Goes and gets us an ice cream. You're not remembering. And
Wait,
anyway,
no. So
So-
Brian walks outside and says, "Oh my
no,
God,
he
it's a
goes
raccoon."
out.
He
He goes
freaks
out. He goes out the front. Obviously,
front.
yeah. He's in the total opposite
Where
direction.
and why does ice cream come into
So,
this?
this is the way I tell a story. Y'all forgive me. So
Wildlife makes me want a sweet snack.
So I go outside. I open the back door and look out on the deck because I'm thinking, I hope it ain't there because I don't want a close encounter with a raccoon. So I open the door and I step out. I creep out real slowly, and what it was, the trash can had dumped over,
I remember that.
and there was trash in it. So I picked all that up and put it back in there. So anyway, I don't have any kind of traps to set for raccoons. So
Not in the
reached-
city.
no,
No, this is a
No,
This is
so-
a rare problem in the city.
So I borrowed a trap from a friend of mine. I baited it up with a can of cat food.
Oh, I thought you were about to say an ice cream.
No.
Wait till the second.
We ate that.
Wait till the second.
It gets better. So we baited up, and I didn't do a real good job of baiting it for anybody that knows anything about catching raccoons. And I didn't put it up against anything, so there was access from all three sides without making entry into it. And so the next day I went to check the trap, and all the cat food was gone, but there was nothing inside the cage, so I scratched my head. And
Now
so-
let me stop you right there because I do remember this part. Chris, when I came home the night he set this trap, he's telling me, "Now, Brian, I got the trap set flush up against the tree,
that was the,
and on the sides I got boards."
that was
on
the
it."
second time. That was the second time.
I'm getting ahead of myself
That was
there.
the live and learn trap right there. That was
Well-
the reinforced trap.
And I'm just like, I don't know what in the hell you're talking about, man.
So we did that 2 nights in a row. The second night was a honey bun. I didn't want to give up another can of my cat food.
Absolutely not.
So I did a honey bun. Well, the same thing happened. So I talked to some friends at work. They know a lot more about this. I thought maybe the trap's too small. So I get 2 friends of mine. They both bring their traps because we know we have 2 because my next door neighbor saw 2. So this time I get wiser and I put it up against her house. And then I put a big cement block on the other side. So there's no way to gain access unless you go into there.
Gain access. I love
Listen,
how he's
this is
describing
good.
this.
This is good.
So the next day, it's running together because there was anyway. You'll know as I
It was
finish.
a week.
you're old.
It
It's
was a
okay.
whole
This
week.
was- yeah.
It was a whole week of raccoons.
So anyway, I believe I walked over there the next morning, and then there was a raccoon in the trap. So I was thrilled to death. And then I was like, realization set in that okay, you got it trapped now.
now you have a raccoon.
and now you have to release
Now,
it.
what do we do with it now?
Yeah.
What's
so,
next?
So Brian and I, we're having coffee under the carport, and he and I hop in the truck and we drive about 2 miles, roughly,
If 2 miles.
probably a
They
quarter,
went around the corner to somebody else's
a
yard.
quarter of a mile the way the crow
They
flies.
went to old man Johnson's who was yelling at him the other day.
So
Thank God they go to the early service because it was Sunday.
So I'm brave enough to let the raccoon out. I've got gloves on. We set the cage down. Brian's standing there with a baseball bat about yay long because in case that raccoon decided it was upset with me because maybe I didn't bring another honey bun. I don't know. So we let it go, and sure enough, it took straight off.
It
I was
said,
like,
I want an ice cream.
it was
Where's the ice
successful.
cream?
It was successful. So we released the raccoon.
Where's
Well,
my ice cream?
then friends of ours started. I told a friend of ours, he says, "Man, you should have taken that thing far off." He said, "You should have taken it a lot farther than that." And I said, "He's not going to come back." And he said, "That's his home. That's where he lives now. He's coming back."
You thought you lived there. That's
Yeah,
his now.
I did. We both thought, my next door neighbor too. And so
You want to know how city I am? When I came up that Sunday afternoon and we were all talking about we didn't take the raccoon far enough, I looked at him as serious as I could and I said, how's he going to know how to get back here? And he goes, "Brian, he can smell himself. He left scents all around here." And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
And I knew that because somebody told me. So, anyway, the following later on that week, we still know we have another raccoon we need to catch. So I'm outside under the garage in the carport having coffee, and I look up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I see daylight. I see a raccoon walking across, and I was like, "Oh my gosh,
boys, I'm back."
So we
Take
knew
me down the road.
we knew this was the second one. Well, I saw it go in my neighbor's front yard, and I saw it go up a tree. So I slowly walked down my driveway, and there's a big hole up in the tree. So I said, "That's where they're at." So anyway, we rebait the trap. And I believe my neighbor messaged me.
Honey buns the second time too.
Yes, because
Honey bun's the way to go.
it was less expensive, and that's what some friends of mine told me. So,
With a promise of ice cream later.
this is just a teaser. We got ice cream on the way.
so we baited up again, and we catch the mama raccoon. Now, and you wonder why I say the mama, because all of a sudden she messages me and sends me a picture of a baby raccoon that she's also put into a flower pot. It's a big flower pot. So I'm freaking out.
It's baby
I
raccoon-sized
didn't know
flower
at the time that she had caught the baby raccoon, because I was at work. I got 3 jobs, remember? And so I get home that afternoon, and Sydney and I walk next door, and lo and behold, my neighbor, she says, "Look right there in that flower pot." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "I caught the baby too." I said, "How did you do that?" So she got a shovel and just kind of eased it over in there. And I'm just blown away. And I start to panic, because now I've got 2 raccoons I got to get rid of. And I know that you had plans that night. And so I called you up, and I don't know if you could sense the panic in my
I
voice.
could definitely say I had some plans.
Because I'm
but
worried. I'm an animal lover, and I don't want anything to happen to these 2. You know, and I want them to be together, because obviously that's the mama, because she's in the cage getting angry. Well,
angry.
Now, I'm going to say this. I was definitely on my way where I always go every Monday without fail at 5:30. But when I heard the tone of your voice, I said, D, I'm on the way, man.
because when I called you,
on the way.
I said, hey, I didn't know what we were going to have to do. So then I called another friend of ours named Chris, and I said, hey, Chris, I said, how quick can you get over here to the house? I said, we got 2 raccoons. We got to set for this time. I'll be there in just a minute, buddy. So then me and you get back on the phone, and then you said, yeah, Chris is on the way over here too, talking about Chris Rush.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? I was like, all right, there's going to be a lot of us to do
That
this.
man was confident there.
Yeah, Brian called me up and was just like, listen, there's a mama and a baby raccoon that Derek's done trapped to the house, man. I know you're coming over. I think it was the first night of the podcast.
it was
meeting.
the
First meeting we ever
Yeah.
had with the feather quill and the legal pad. So I was also going to do something else, and he was just like, listen, we might have to get it started a little bit later. We got to figure out what we're going to do with these raccoons, and I'm on the way. I'm finna be a part of this. I got to see what's going on.
So Chris comes pulling up on his Harley. I'm in my next door neighbor's yard.
7-2 on a Harley.
I don't have a Harley.
So anyway, I was confident then. I was like, all right, I got some backup now. It's not just me and my next door neighbor and Sydney. It's not just the 3 of us. I got all these guys over here. So anyway, we take the pot, and I think Chris grabbed the cage itself.
Not this Chris.
Different
Not
Chris.
this Chris.
He believed
the
me.
raccoon
He
specialist
wasn't
Chris.
going to do that. So I have a small truck, so it's a 4-seater. But Chris being 7'2" and I'm pushing 6'2", we're like, hey, I don't want this pot to tip over. I said, look, I'm gonna ride in the back, and Chris kind enough to hop in the back too.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, we're thinking we're going 2 miles down the road,
Yeah.
and we're gonna let them out.
Back where they were the first release.
Brian is driving, and
Back to Mr. Johnson's.
our other friend convinces him to drive. What would you say, Chris? You were in the
45, 50 miles. Golly, where's going?
It
I
was-
think we went to Wilkinson
The
County.
next
for crying
county
out loud.
over.
It was a
Good
long
God.
way.
The next county
Oh
over.
my God.
So we go, and I hollered. They had
my
the
hair
window,
up.
the back window open, so I'm hollering to him, "Where y'all going?" Me and Chris are in the back. You know, we probably shouldn't have been riding that way to begin with. And then all of a sudden, Brian hollers through the back, "We're taking it to the river." Chris says it won't never find its way back. So I'm sitting there in the back, and I'm going, this ain't the way to the river. And then we find out as we're going that they're taking all these turns to throw the raccoon off. So it doesn't find like it's going, all right, that's one left.
And
All right, we just went right after about 5 miles. I think I can follow this path
And hey,
back.
listen, this is no joke. Listen, when we got to the end of Black Shears Ferry,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm talking about, right there on Country Club, we're finna turn left right there where the bridge is at. I turned right instead of turning left to throw the raccoon off one more time.
And then, like, you
because
threw
if he kept up, she kept up, she's gonna be thinking, if they turn left right here, we should be at the river. So I said, I'm finna fool her. So I
Oh, my
turned
God.
right and I spun around and I went back to the
Now keep in mind that this is a short bed truck with 6'2", and I'm 7'2". A mama and a baby, and mama is
It's
pissed.
something fierce.
I'm talking about will not stop. Just
And I'm riding, I've got my arm up there on the side of the
Yelling,
truck,
hollering.
and I realize the cage is right there, and it's like she's looking at me with the devil in her eyes, and like going,
I know which one I'm going for.
drop that finger down in this cage. Are you fixing to lose a nub?
Derek's going, you don't act like you acted on Guardians of the Galaxy. I liked you on that movie.
I thought you suckers could talk and have rockets and guns and stuff. I thought it was going to be fun.
So I don't want to ruin the end of the story because that's the part that we videoed. But I'll just say that the release. Let's just say the release didn't go exactly how we thought it would, and Brian obviously standing there the whole time with the small bat.
Yeah.
You can see him in the video. He's sitting there swinging, and I'm going, I'm glad he's standing there. I'm going to put the top of that other cage in the truck.
Listen, I recorded the whole video from the safety of the bed of the truck.
Yeah, and narrated the whole thing too.
And I
which
did.
was
I narrated
glad.
the whole. And like I said, that video that's going to be coming out on TikTok.
It'll
before too
definitely
long.
be up.
Listen, I was so excited to come over because I'd never had like an experience with a raccoon. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about city? I really am city.
You
I'm a
are
concrete
city.
baby making. You know, there was raccoons, but like I never really saw one. They'd be scuttering away every time you see them or something like that. Man, I had raccoons all wrong. I see them on like TikTok and stuff, and it's just like, oh, look at my cute pet trash panda. You know what I mean? So I was the same way. I was just like, you know what I mean? I might come over here and get me one of these suckers. Especially I heard there's a baby too, and I was just like, oh, Sydney, look up and see if you can even legally have a raccoon as a pet in the state of Georgia.
So something else that they won't see in the video that I've got to share too. We're riding back down the road, going back to the house, and Chris and I again we're in the back of the truck and we're all stretched out. And about that time, the people behind us are smiling, and I'm thinking they must think we're riding the strip again or something. this old gray-headed guy in the back. So they ended up. One of them knew me, and one of the girls knew you.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah. And
So they're hollering. They're going, "What are y'all doing?" We started turning the red light and getting a forward lane. And I said, "We had a raccoon. We just went and released
they're,
it."
like, they're having a full-blown conversation about the raccoon with them.
As they're riding, coming up next to us.
Yeah.
I didn't catch any of that. I was too busy trying to find my Guns N' Roses cassette.
Said cassette. Okay, so City says no. City says no. Raccoons are
Can't-
not legal pets
can't
in the state of
legally own
Georgia. Well,
Thank you
I'm
for that,
not
Sydney.
privy. I do not want to be caught breaking the law anymore.
Not today.
So I'm glad that ended up. Like I said, I thought it was gonna be cute. I might even get to hold the baby raccoon. No, I didn't get out of the back. Terrifying. Those suckers are vicious, violent.
Oh boy.
Yes, y'all be on the lookout for that. Great video, hilarious time. And I will never ride back over and help out with that again. I
You're
sure
a pro
won't.
now, Chris. Why not? You're a pro.
No, I am not, dude. I didn't move from the back of that truck. You know what I mean? And I'm sure we're gonna, probably get a lot of good comments on the TikTok too. You know what I'm saying,
yeah.
about what we could have did better. And
I'm
It's
sure.
worth
you know,
the watch.
what do you mean? Y'all talking about you didn't set the trap up right in front. Honey buns. You should have used the ice cream.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you right now, you
Listen.
should have used some of that Dairy Queen ice cream that Brian went to get the first time. Shout out Dairy
I'm telling
Queen.
you, man, them folks get in there in them comments and be tearing you up. Listen, go ahead.
I will say this. I don't want to. I don't know because I haven't got proof of it. It's not on video or camera, but I think we have another one. based on the suet feeders and the
gotta go home.
shape that they're in.
Yeah, they definitely look like they've been
But
back.
yeah, we're gonna have to do it again.
Probably
So,
the one from Mr. Johnson's yard.
I was just about to say,
yeah,
Mr. Jordan, you
the
should have
first
got him with the family.
found its way
man.
back. That second one ain't coming back.
He's looking for his wife and children.
Man,
He's not happy. He's like, why didn't you just bring them?
where's my family?
Where's you bring-
He's like Liam Neeson.
You could have saved a quarter of a tank of gas.
Derek Lamar. I have a very set of skills. I don't know where you live, but I know my address. I can smell my scent here now. I will find you. I belong to my wife and kids.
Next time you're gonna have the porch light on the deck out there, and he's gonna be bench pressing the trash can.
Smoking a cigarette.
Come outside and play. Better bring the bat.
Oh my God.
You're going to need a bigger
Oh,
bat,
my
Brian.
I can't take no more quit.
What was it?
You might want to grab the Louisville Slugger. Not the
Wait.
Not
Why did the raccoon develop? Like, what's this, like a Russian accent all of a sudden? Why is it a Russian raccoon? Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Please stop.
I don't know.
Please stop.
All of a sudden, the raccoon's in like a Rocky video. If he dies, he
He
dies.
does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
Goodness, man.
Oh boy.
So yeah, y'all be sure to leave a comment on that TikTok video too. Yeah, we got comments on a bunch of TikTok videos we put out. We got comments on the video today. Very nice, positive, uplifting comments. The only really like trolly kind of negative stuff I've caught based on our content so far, it's from my family.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Who knew, right? Love you through anything, you know what I mean? But yeah, so my mom, I think, was probably the first one to pull it up and watch it. She watches it. Oh, you did great. Good job. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Mom. I love you. And then my brother, he pulls it up and watches it. No good job. No nothing like that. Hey, man, you get around them two, you sure do get a big old thick southern drawl, don't you?
You're welcome.
So like before I can even say anything back, my mom just chimes right in the family chat. Oh my gosh, my friend just commented me that, and I said it's called the Cochran effect.
What it is.
Goodness gracious. So yeah, I'm getting torched by my family in the family chat. So that's always nice. You know,
Trolled
people
by the
trolling you.
family.
Yeah, people trolling. You know, you got to watch out though. Once you put yourself out there online, the internet trolls will get you.
That's true.
You know, and there is an internet troll that we've become very familiar with that is really just a menace to the Lawrence County area. You know, he's just out there
Specifically meaning.
on Facebook. I think he's a menace to the Lawrence County info page. Y'all be on the lookout. He's out there offering goods and services that he has no business offering, no experience.
None.
I hope they figure out who that is.
I do too. I hope they get him. You know, lock him up. Lock him up.
Well, now, if it's
Put
his
him in jail.
first time, let's be a little.
It's not his first
let's
time.
be
He
a
just
little-
keeps getting
let's
away with
be a
it.
little lenient on it.
No, he keeps getting away with it, and he needs to be stopped.
So here's what Chris is talking about. Before they start getting me under the jail.
Yeah, it'll be over with.
Anybody that knows me knows that I don't do a lot of mechanicking.
A lot.
None at all.
Do you have a tire gauge?
He doesn't know what that is, Dan.
At the filling station.
Looks all right to me.
At the filling station, they
Gauged
did
it
have
pretty good.
they did have tire gauges once upon a time, and I knew how to check it when Mr. Tommy would come out with me and help me check it. I can gas it up, and I can drive it.
There you go.
I don't do a whole lot of construction work either. But what I do enjoy doing is acting like I can.
So what exactly do you mean by this, Brian?
Well, I was scrolling on Facebook one day and I came across this post on Lawrence County Info, and it simply said, looking for a good mechanic. Now, to be fair to myself, I did make sure they had some legitimate mechanics respond with numbers.
That's good.
So I made sure they had the help that they really needed. But then I get on there, and I think my response was, look no further. It gets better.
Is that the top comment on that one?
They were all the top comment. Because that's how I set it up to take this screenshot. So I'm actually looking at the screenshot that I took because this became some fun.
That's
for
true.
me.
It's probably been taken down and
So what I would
reported
do
as spam at that point.
is I would make the comment, screenshot it, and send it to these guys. And they did not find it as funny as I did, but I kept going. This is one of my favorites. Now keep in mind, I have no idea how to do any of this stuff.
Anything.
This one says, in search of someone who can replace mobile home windows. The search is over. The next day, I think it was, in search of someone that knows how to fix refrigerators. Now, I don't know much about mechanicking or building stuff, but when it comes to refrigerators, I don't know anything.
It's the same number. None.
So they're in search of someone that knows how to fix refrigerators. So I said, call off the search.
That's my favorite one.
Here I am.
Call off the search.
Well, by this time,
Sydney, bring me a tissue. My eyes are watering.
by this time, my friend Kristen gets on there and comments, B, I didn't know you knew how to work on refrigerators. You can just fix anything. So I had to call her and I said, Kristen, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. And she said, well, I've been seeing you on the Lawrence County Info for the past week, offering your help. So then I started getting tagged at different stuff. So a few days later, someone was looking to put a timing chain and set the time on the 1995 Ford Ranger today, if possible. So I got ahead of the ball game on that one. I said, don't nobody be tagging me. I got work up to my eyeballs. This one, I'm gonna read you two more. This one,
I'm up to my eyeball.
this one says, looking for legit and trustworthy construction workers for mobile home repairs. So I said, I'm trustworthy. 1 out of 2 ain't too shabby. I'm not legit. The last one someone said, looking for a roofer in Dublin for a double wide, and I didn't respond to that one. I just sent an emoji going, if you know, you know.
Oh my God.
A lot of fun.
Brian, if you had to give me your best guess on what a timing chain
16th.
is.
The 16th. Am I close?
No. What would you think a timing chain is?
It's going to help you keep the motor in time from shifting gears, and it's got a chain linked together in there somewhere.
Hit the nail on the head. Call that dude with that 95 Ranger back. You got it.
Mister, have you found anyone that's that? I figured it out. I knew the whole time and didn't even realize I did, sir.
You hit him. Let me just pull up his YouTube video real quick and make sure I can do it. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
That's good stuff.
It's funny because Brian has had to have me check fuses in his car before.
I've had to have you check everything in my car before. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Just last week I was calling you when I was about halfway to work going, the power steering's out, man. Do I need to pull it over? Or can I drive it on into the office? No, you should be all right.
He just calls you, hey, Chris, I don't know, it ain't working right. What's wrong? What I need to do?
I got to exert more energy to turn it.
It's not turning as easy as it usually does.
I can't do it with a finger. When I come out here by the sawmill, I'm usually riding with a finger, but today I've got to really put the energy.
I'm at the gym twice today. Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh.
Man, live.
Oh man.
Good times, man.
Hey, good times. Good times.
Too good of a time.
Oh man.
What we got coming up next, man, over the next couple of weeks?
I think we've locked in probably we've got words out to probably 10 total people as far as guest interviews, and I think we've heard back and finalized 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting a lot of good traction there. We got some very exciting ones coming up. It's going to be people from this kind of area, just people that we think would be interesting for this local community. And just interesting in general as well. I'm very excited for it because y'all know a decent amount of these people. These are kind of like friends and family members of yours. And I don't know really any of these people. So it's going to be very exciting for me. And I'm hoping a lot of the viewers, too, who may not know who these people are.
I'll say this about our first guest we've got locked in. I'm super excited about him coming on because I kind of know him, but I really don't. And I'm looking forward to sitting down with him and getting to know him better. The two of you guys getting to meet him and talk to him, and he's got an amazing story. I can tell you that much. And I would tease it in the sense of international basketball superstar, we'll call him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to call him.
Yeah,
I may not even refer to his name while he's here.
International.
Excuse me. Let me ask you another question, Mr. International Basketball Superstar.
That's him. And just an amazing guy, man. I mean, I've followed him for quite some time, and we have a kind of a connection through a family member of mine, and he's going to be on the 26th of this month. So a week from today, if you're watching this, is the day it drops on YouTube and the other platforms. We have it on Platform C. You are rubbing off on us, Chris. We're learning a few things.
Yeah, picking up a few terms here and there.
I'm not sure what it means, but that's where you insert it.
I think it's where you dive off of when you're at the pool, right?
I like it.
Olympic diving. It's a waste of time.
Can I have a sip from your Java mug?
Absolutely. Now, some of that stuff in there right there may hurt you. I'm just letting you know.
Did it get washed? You just have plenty.
No.
I wash.
It's like bringing a 2-liter to the table every time we sit down.
Yeah, real question, real quick. Do y'all wash your coffee cups?
I wash it out, and with that one, I had washed mine. I washed Derek's, and when I went to wash yours, the water cut off because we only get 100 gallons an hour. That's how much it took to get Jabba the mug cleaned out.
Yeah, I hear Lawrence County's on a water restriction for the next few days because trying to get one. So, but y'all wash your coffee mugs? Listen, my work coffee mug, I don't know. I think when I've left it like Friday to Monday, I'll wash it. But like other than that, as long as I drink it all, I don't even rinse it.
You don't wash the spoon you stir it with either.
Well,
you
you're
ever
finna
notice
come
that?
back behind it and use it.
But wash
There's
it.
no sense in wasting all that water.
And when I don't come behind you and wash it, that's what we seal our envelopes with. Because after about 6 hours, it turns into sticky tar. Like back in the Civil War when they would, dearest love, things are hard on the front lines. Chris, hand me the coffee spoon.
Legend says those letters are still not open today. Oh my goodness, man. So anyway, you brought up platforms. Now we can stop making fun of me for a second. You brought up platforms. So I'm in the process and have successfully got us on some actual podcast streaming services. We've had a couple people reach out to us today wanting to know where this podcast was going to be. And when we would reply, it's on YouTube. We got a lot of crap about. Well, I'm going to listen to it in the car. It's not a podcast.
That's not
it's
a
a
podcast.
video. It's a video. So, we are now on Spotify. We're on Amazon Music. And I am in the process of getting us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. Hopefully by the time this episode comes out, I will have permission from all those different companies and have us on those platforms. From your favorite podcast streaming services. But right now, as of right this second, episode 1 is live and available to listen to on Spotify and Amazon Music.
Do us a favor.
It depends.
Not you.
Oh.
If you're entertained, you're having a good time watching this podcast with us and joining us, send it to your friends. Send it out there to people that we may not know that you know, and give us an opportunity to entertain them as well, man. That's what we're really trying to do here is have a good time amongst the three of us, 4 including Sydney, and really entertaining you guys and making you laugh, because this is a time we need to laugh. Would you not agree?
I definitely agree there. You know, and you definitely want to catch it now because, you know, I definitely don't have unrealistic expectations. I don't think we're going to be, you know, superstars and millionaires and just world famous overnight.
God,
you know?
I hope not, because I enjoy hanging out with you, and you'll be gone.
Oh, I'm gone. But, you know, realistically, though, 3-4 days, you know?
Yeah, at least.
A week at the most. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll be there,
Yeah.
you know? So now's a good time to kind of be I was one of the first listeners, you know, because this time tomorrow may have billions, you know? May have billions.
Well, I'm moving on down.
And I think that's a realistic expectation.
I
if I do say
I
myself.
totally don't agree with you.
So I should hold off on buying the Sharpies. We don't need to buy Sharpies, a pack of Sharpies,
For
autographs.
No,
buy
we-
one.
Listen, we have people
Buy-
do our autographs for them.
buy one
Rich
Sharpie
people
for
don't
you.
do
It
anything.
won't be verified.
Famous
It won't be
people don't do
verified
anything. We'll just sit and be like, hey, sign my stuff for me.
Derek, you can buy one Sharpie for you.
That's true.
Because I don't introduce myself as Brian Thomas. I introduce myself as Brian. I'm Derek Lamar's brother.
That goes a long way, doesn't it?
That gets them
would
a
be
lot further in
surprised.
life, you know what I mean?
you'd be
A lot
surprised.
further in life. Goodness. Trying to think if there's anything else I needed to hit. I know we had discussed at one point in time, kind of at the beginning, kind of something to end with, you know, something to kind of wrap it up. I know a lot of big podcasts out there have, you know, things that I like to end on, a word of encouragement usually.
You had one.
I did have one, and while I will say the three of us don't really give a whole lot of encouraging words to ourselves, to each other, if you will.
No, that's rare.
You know, like Brian was saying, you know, kind of in this time that we're in and in this world that we live in, I think we just want to challenge people, everybody listening, just to be kind to one person today, whether it's the person at the checkout line, you know, just ringing you up, you know, it's a nice thank you. You know, just take time to just say thank you or just say a kind word.
Just a smile.
Just a smile.
And if they won't smile, shoot them with the smile.
Shoot them with the smile pistol, you know? Because I think, you know, even if people disagree on stuff and have different worldviews or different stances on whatever the issue might be, I don't think that being mean about it is ever going to get us anywhere. So I think, you know, just be kind to one person that you maybe wouldn't have been kind to that day, unless the only person that gets a kind pass is the person in front of you that stopped at the yellow light when you both could have made it. Now, that person you do not have to be nice to. If you both could have made it, you both should have made it.
I made it tonight when you were behind me.
I know. I didn't run it. I've been pulled over too many times. I got to stop getting tickets.
Pulled over. Maybe not next episode when we have our guest, but the fourth one. We're
Next
gonna
time
get
it's the three of us
the next time it's the three of us. Let's get into that.
being pulled over.
I'd love to hear about it.
Some law interactions, if you
A
will.
little bit of some.
I may have one or two
I
myself.
was about to say, are we just going to have to like not have Derek on that time?
No,
Derek,
We'll just
I'll
have
be
like a
there.
picture of him sitting off in the front. Have you ever been in trouble with the law? Derek?
I won't say in trouble with the law, but I have been blue lighted.
Oh, I'm excited now. Get some dirt on
At least once
on
or
the
twice.
man over there. You know
Once
what
or
I mean?
twice, I think
Let's
I
not
have.
tarnish that image.
Since the day they was born.
Oh, God. So, again, thank you. This is our second episode.
This
We're
was
excited
fun.
to see. Like I said, this is on the day that the first one came out, so we're excited over the next week just to see how much traction that episode gets. Be on the lookout for our newest raccoon release of 2023 TikTok coming out. And like Brian was saying, just share it with people. You know, if you like it, share it. If you didn't like it, share it anyways. Share it with some enemies. That'll be fine too.
That's lovely.
You know, so y'all try to be kind to an extra person a day. And we will catch y'all on the very next episode. Thanks y'all for watching.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.